On the last episode, we sourced the Prado a new engine.
There was supposed to be water in the sun.
Managed to remove the old one.
Like, that came out really easy for me.
Jacko did all the work.
So many teeth.
And I'm on the way to get our new diffs. 5 teams, 5 unique builds. We're back once again to take on Victoria's toughest terrain. Steeper climbs, bigger rocks, rougher tracks, and a smaller budget. And this time, we crown a winner. This is Kincrome Build Wars.
Just here to get these Prado diffs. I assume it's all been nice and smooth.
There's a minor problem, which is they're not here. Yeah, it turns out that you wanted solid spaces in the pinions to make them a bit stronger, and no one makes solid spaces for that. So,
why not?
Because modifying the Prado is not really a thing. So they had to custom make some spaces and stuff. Ty at Hustlin' Off-Road has done that, and he's been up late last night and early this morning, so he's on his way down now with the diffs, so he should be here any minute.
Well, while we're here, obviously Roadrunner for us has been part of this for a little bit now. Tell us about Roadrunner.
So Roadrunner Off-Road started with some guys that race the winch challenge scene, and then that's developed into the business we have today. So we still definitely have a strong bias towards, you know, the hardcore off-roaders, the race car stuff. We sort of term it as live axle 35-inch tyres and up. The other thing that we do a lot of, and especially in the case of the Build Wars, is if you need something that we don't have on the shelf, we'll find it, regardless of whether it's for a Hilux or a Ultra 4. Basically, we'll do our best to locate those parts for you. So if you walk into our showroom in Pakenham, you're going to find we've got a range of stuff for four-wheel drives predominantly, and some camping gear as well. So suspension, steering components, wheels, tyres, all of the stuff for your hardcore rig, and we've got bearing kits, service parts, all of those sorts of things to keep you going. So if you've got a Patrol or a Land Cruiser and you're looking for parts for it, either accessories or hard parts, chances are we're going to have it.
So the diffs have arrived, but dude, they've let me out the back and this place is sick. There is so much stock on the shelf here. Like, you've got everything over here from like wheel bearing kits and just everything you need to rebuild a front end. Spare parts galore. Like, check out the amount of parts all on the shelf. And trust me, I've ran cam many times to get these parts in a pinch. So that's cool. And look how much superior gear they've got on the shelf. Got all this superior gear sitting here, shocks, everything. It is sick. And then when you look right down the other end, they've got the most amount of winch cable I've ever seen in my life. So I reckon I'm gonna run around here, grab a few bits and pieces for the Prado on top of the diffs, which have arrived, and we're gonna go check them out, and then we're gonna go down and put them in. So let's go check it out. I reckon it's gonna be sick. I love this joint, it's wicked. So whilst I've been running around the warehouse like an idiot, Ty's snuck in and dropped the diffs off, and they're ready to go. They look brand new, which is amazing. So I'm gonna load them in the car, because enough playing around down here at Roadrunner, we've actually got to build this car. So let's get them in there, let's get it.
All right, so I've got Tank Playing crew here today, picking up our diffs from Roadrunner, and I've been ripping into this motor, replacing a heap of old gaskets and cleaning out a bit of carbon buildup. What I've learned, and what we're a little bit funny about now after our last engine, is the carbon buildup is what killed our other engine. So I've been cleaning out what I can. Now, yes, this is still super filthy, but to clean it like to perfection would involve removing the head. We're not gonna go to that extent. So we're just gonna get the real big bits out. I've just been vacuuming them out with a pick and just scratching it all out, getting it nice and clean. So the plan today is new spark plugs, new rocker cover gaskets. We've got everything laid out on the bench as well. And yeah, we'll get that done. Hopefully Tank's here soon. And we can probably gonna put the diff in first and then try and swing this engine in. We've got to reassemble the inlet manifold and all the bits and pieces we've pulled off. And hopefully all of our hard work in labeling all of our plugs pays off. So stay tuned. Ooh, this one's a lot cleaner. Maybe that's why it had water in the sump. Because it looks like they've pressure washed this one with the rocker cover off, but then because the inlet manifold was on, they didn't want to pull that one off because you have to take the motor too far apart. Because like for them to be that different in cleanliness, someone's done something on this side. Just pulling off these old gaskets, but we do have a question. I'm sure someone will know that's watching this, but left and right, this is right hand side. This rocker cover is off the right-hand side, looking from the back. Is that the correct way? Or is it right-hand side looking from the front? Seems like probably something that's really simple to people that are good at this, but I don't know. But looking, I've done like a bit of a comparison and I think I'm right. These things are fun though. Dad used to have this really cool one and I lost the lid for it and he never ever let me forget it.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
I believe it was Jonas hanging around my crib. I came home late one night.
Yeah.
I was drunk as a man.
Cool, perfect. Okay, so the plan is, we've got our new diff. We want to put that in first. I did hold off on putting the engine in because there's really good access to put the diff in. So we're going to do that first.
Well, I figured from there, we were going to put the CVs back in, but I reckon these wheel bearings are a little bit secondhand. So we'll do wheel bearings later before we put the CVs back in.
Yeah, well, the poor bearings, they copped it because we did on-track CV changes and they were a bit rough. We've hurt the seals and stuff. So, and yeah, they've got a bit of water and rust in them. So definitely want to do that later. But yeah, it'd be nice to get the engine in. We'll all feel like we're going forward, which was always a good feeling.
Anyway, you do that, I'm going to get some lunch.
Yeah, nice. To these clamps. All right, front diff's in. Surprisingly heavier than it looks and really awkward because it's really heavy on one side. But yeah, I don't know if our chassis is bent or if the brackets were a bit off or a combination of the two, but it did require a little bit of persuasion. But we got it in. So now I'm just putting the drive shaft on and then we get to the exciting part where we're going to get that motor off the engine stand, bolt the flex plate to it, and then try and get it to go back in the car.
So what you're saying, Jacko, is the diff's like me, heavy and awkward.
Your words. So these are the flex plate bolt and they're Loctited on, which is fantastic. It's why they don't fall off. But when you've got things like that, they end up with the Loctite stuck all in the threads when you remove it. So the easiest way I've found to get that off is just get a wire wheel. You didn't need to really hang on to the bolt or even use pliers or something. You should always have safety glasses on too, because the little wires, they go everywhere.
Right now, I'm just bolting the headers back on because Jacko's hit this new level of confidence that we can get the engine in with the headers on. Put some new exhaust gaskets on. Jacko's pretty smart. He's gone along, he's got this engine, it's all pretty clean, pretty tidied up, but we've basically re-gasketed as much as we could because we're now nervous things are gonna break. It's kind of like a race prep. So I'll give everyone a fun little fact. Before I did this job, I worked in the Kincrome warehouse for like 5 years and I was mad on the forklifts, loading trucks, getting stuff out of the racking. Sick, I nearly ran over Jacko then, but it was mint.
Down. Okay, come down. Right, down.
Cool, so we've hit a point where I legitimately actually have to go home. Engine is kind of in, but it's not quite there. So I'm gonna run, gonna scoot, I'm gonna come back.
Hopefully it fits. All right, so it's day 2 of fitting the engine. Now, Tank had to bail yesterday, Arvo, busy man. Today's the day. My neighbour's an absolute jet. He's gonna swing down, give me a hand. Hates the camera, so you're probably not gonna see him. I have ditched one of the tines because I was really worried about crashing it into the guard because if it was still on now, absolutely would be into the guard. Second thing I've figured out, this could be a naughty one to the mechanics that know what they're doing. 22mm socket extension on the crank, and you can use that like a bit of a lever to jiggle the motor to get it into position. So that's helping me out heaps. Now we still have a big gap to the gearbox, and I feel like this is where my expertise, if there was any, is running out. So I'm gonna wait for my neighbour to come. because I don't want to hurt anything. And I feel like seems quite violent to put this in, or maybe that's just because I don't know what I'm doing. So it's in. Stoked, your neighbour came out and gave me a chop out. He was all over it. If you don't know how to do this, this is what I mucked up. Had the gearbox sitting on a block that pretty much landed at exactly where it would sit with everything bolted up. Now I thought that was a good thing. Turns out, not a good thing. You want to take the block out, jack the gearbox up as high as you can without crushing anything. That way, when you sling the motor in, the motor misses the brackets on the chassis so the engine mounts clear it so you can get it all the way in, and then you come down onto the mounts. So that was the important part that I was missing. So now it's just a process of hooking everything back up. So power steering pump, compressor, all the wiring. So yeah, we've got torque converter volts put back in. It's good that we have the other engine here so we can sort of have a look at that and work out anything else we're missing. But yeah, so we'll keep ripping in. But stoked, it's in. The Prado's gonna live again soon. It's gonna be epic. Next one I did to save time. Simple one, could put them in bags, but yeah, old masking tape, tape all the bolts together, came out of the compressor, alternator, starter motor. Shugs has had enough of fixing Prados. So for those that don't know, this is where the torque converter bolts to the flex plate, and this is how you do it. So you have to have the starter motor out, and you can see that's the torque converter at the back, and the flex plate's the one with the gear on it, which is how it starts it with the starter motor. So you put the bolts in there, and then you crank over the engine, and then you can get to the next one. So that's how that works. And if you drop the bolt into the bow housing, it's gonna suck because it's not gonna fall out. This one is definitely a good party trick. You need this really high quality piece of plastic. Just that little bit of plastic will stop it from falling out of the socket. Yeah, that's a lifesaver. Only learned that one recently and don't know how I did stuff without it. You're welcome. All right, so it's another day out in the shop. I've added a heap of stuff to my list to go through with all the motor stuff, and yeah, that's all going pretty well. Stole a idler pulley off the old engine because one of them was not happy, and now happy. So I'm gonna put some engine oil in, just get that done and work through my list. But yeah, as you can see, oil. I've already changed the pulley, with oil in it, starter motor, engine mount bolts, don't want to forget them. Still got the eyelets from lifting it, sitting on the motor. And yeah, anyway, lots of stuff, but working through it. It's all coming together, slowly. But I reckon, I don't see why we won't fire it up today. That's the pipe dream anyway. Okay, here we go, here we go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, it made sounds. One more. Fuck yeah! That's mint, it runs. I'm so excited. All right, so as you can see, smoke everywhere, looks terrible. Pretty sure it's because it was, all the exhaust and everything was all full of crap from the last motor, because it's getting a bit better, I hope. But yeah, it's currently getting it up to temp, bleeding the everything. So far so good. All right, so just getting through all the nitty and gritty of this motor swap, and we have engine light. So, gonna work out what that is. We've got the Kincrome OBD2 scanner here. Camera hates it. We have a P code, P0051. So if you just Google that, that comes up as an O2 sensor fault. First thing you want to do is have a look at your O2 sensors. That one isn't plugged in, and that's our fault. So nice, easy, quick fault find when you've got a scan tool. Anyway, I thought that was cool. That's just how handy the scan tools can be. Oh, cool. Technologia. Okay, so now the motor's all in, which is sick. Very pumped with that. Now we're going to try and put our 150 series rear center into our 120 series housing. Because we didn't have any option, we wanted a tough diff in it. I've taken it on and I've got the diff and I've got all the stuff, the lock is fitted and we're pretty committed. So this is how I think I'm going to do it. First of all, I'm going to take the studs off, which I've taken one out. You just get two nuts, you do them up tight on each other, and then you can undo the stud. See if I can get the diff center to get in the housing. I will possibly have to grind a smidge more off these notches that are up here, which clear the crown wheel as it goes in. One part that I really want to get right, once the center's in, I want to put the axles in, because once the axles are in, then you know that the center's not going to be clocked, left or right, and then the axles are going to struggle to get in. So I'm going to go axles in, and then once the axles are in, I'm going to see which of these pre-existing holes take the housing bolts. So if it fits on a pre-existing hole, sweet. Then we'll just put the stud back in that one. And then the ones that miss, we'll probably have to re-drill and then do new studs. So first time, we'll see how it goes. So that one's unplugged. I'll get the axle. So this is our 150 series rear center. So let's see if it's gonna fit. Yeah, so definitely just need to take this notch of fairway out. Oh, so that's how much I'm gonna take off. So you're gonna fill the housing with a heap of rags, and then we'll see if that diff center is gonna get in there. So the diff center is sitting in the housing. It's got two studs, just chilling up here, and they're holding it in. We did bolt the axle flanges back on to get that located, and it's happy, and they spin, so everything's in there, which is great. So now this is the plan. So this bottom one misses, the one next to it misses. These two they will work with the factory studs. We'll just have to slightly die grind these edges off the housing. Same on this side, a little bit of grinding to get those studs perfect, and then the top both misses as well. So the plan there, I'm gonna stick the studs in to the ones that don't work. Then we're gonna cut them off inside the housing and then weld them in. Once they're welded in, grind it back, and then sit the housing back in, and then we'll mark, and then we'll drill and re-tap. So we've got 4 to do on that, and then just a little bit of die grinding on the center. And then, yeah, it bolts in. So, yeah, does a 150 series center fit in a 120 housing? No. Can you make it fit? We're about to find out. It's all happening. All right, welcome back. We're up to, I've done the bottom ones and they're tapped. And it's a lot of like diff center in and out to check stuff and make sure axles in, axles out. So it's been absolute adventure. I would highly recommend just getting a 150 series housing and not modifying a 120 series housing to fit a 150 center. That's my advice to anyone watching. So anyway, we're now just tapping these top holes, and then we're nearly there. Hopefully that is the final time. All right, moment of truth. And that one fits. Right, the diff, it's finally in. I'm very relieved it's finally in because that was a fair mission to get that all to work, drill all the holes and get it on there. But yeah, I'm just gonna mark all these bolts and we're probably gonna be checking them because, we'll just keep an eye on it. I did fit it, so. But yeah, it's in, the axles spin, sealed, sick. Now we can get onto the fun stuff and put the rest of the car back together.
1 week later.
Yeah, I'm happy to, if you Uber, and if you pay for it, and just invoice, we'll pay for the Uber or whatever. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Tim. There. That's what happens when you work with wicked companies and then you make mistakes and forget to order the parts. So Tim from SETI is going to possibly Uber us some brackets for the light bars because I forgot to order them.
So last time I was here, you'll probably see me just lowering the engine into the car, and then I disappeared for a week, and then I rocked back up, and I've come back. Jacko's got the engine in, he's got the diffs in, he's changed the suspension, lowered the car. We've just lifted the bonnet back on. So he's done a hell of a lot in that week where I was gone. So today's focus is basically getting the lighting on the car now, swapping it all over, putting all the steady gear on there that we've got, and then we're gonna go basically take a test drive.
Yeah.
Following that test drive, we will probably then just do some clearancing for the fact the car's been lowered a little bit. And then there's still a laundry list of stuff to do, I assume. But
it's not insane, but yeah, there is always stuff.
There's stuff, yeah.
We're trying to be ahead of the game. That's the goal here. Doesn't mean it's achievable, but we can always try.
True.
Yeah.
Everything's gone awesome too with getting all the steady stuff, except for I forgot to order the brackets. So we've made phone calls, we've got couriers involved. Steady are in Truganina on literally the other side of the city, and we're basically at Phillip Island. So we're hoping a courier can deliver those brackets for us so we can actually get these lights up on the roof rack. We've got heaps to do before they arrive. We're just gonna get at it, I reckon. Thanks. Good work, Jacko.
Just get at it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Need to pull the brake guards off.
There's the limiter.
Yeah. Right. Well, we may as well flex it up.
Yeah, we should definitely.
Why not? Let's keep driving.
Let's just keep driving.
Cool,
Yeah.
I want to have a look.
Yeah, that's nice and fluid.
Hey, look, we still got oil pressure too.
For now.
Oh, shit.
We really need cup holders.
No, I think the body just like twanged when I opened the door.
I can't get out. But it's still
Dude, we
stabilised.
still got the rear bar in too, like the rear sway bar.
So you know you're on a big angle when your seatbelt locks and you can't unlock it, which is actually a real problem when you're forward driving. So if you take your seatbelt off when you're on a hill and you get back in, you are definitely not getting it on until you flatten the car out. She's good. Righto, so we're getting to the stuff that I love, and clearly that's because I'm scared of the dark. So, as you would have seen with the 79, Steady are on board with us now, helping us out. There is a mountain of steady gear here, and this isn't all going on the car. And how does that fit in our budget, you may ask? Well, I'm a bit cheeky, but so I hit up the team at Steady and said, hey, we've got all these ideas, these lights. I don't exactly know what's going to fit, so can we send us a heap of stuff? We'll put it on the car, and then whatever we don't use, we'll obviously send back. But the goal is, I'm a massive fan of their little Evo lights, the little 4-inch ones, and we did it with the Cruiser. So we're gonna try to run 9 of those across the top of the roof rack on the front of the Rhino rack there. Next, we've got some 8.5 inches, but we've also got some 7-inch Evo lights for the front. My goal, if it fits on the bar, is to go 2 7s and then 2 of the little 4-inch ones next to that as well, which will look pretty cool. The 7s will be like long or spots, and then the 4s will be a flood. But if that doesn't fit, then we will go to the 8.5 inches. I do have 3 here. I think that's a little ambitious. We'll probably be able to just put 2 on there.
Bit of angle, we're making a bracket to mount the new Steady lights across the front. So something I didn't like about the old spotties that we had was they protruded in front of the bar, which if tank ran into something, they were going to get destroyed. So I'm designing it to be tank spec.
Have a pointer at the sky. I'll be able to point it in Jacko's eyes. Have you seen how these things come packaged? Like, I'm proper blown away. Come check this out. This is the case this thing comes in. Pretty much a dustproof style zipper on here. Proper handles. So my point is you can use this case after the fact and it's super cool. We've got an area to stuff stuff in here, zip it up. You can literally strap stuff in the inside. I'm very, very, very excited about that. So we're just bolting on, this is called the G6 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we've got the swivel bracket, the light, and then wiring's already here from pulling the old light off. So we're just gonna tap that wiring in, and that's cool. Go to the other side, do it all again, move on to the next one.
Go be a legend with your courier. He is here. And you've got red P-plate.
They've pulled it off. The lights have traveled all the way across the state. How long did it take you to drive here?
Like an hour 40?
Hour 40, yeah, that's not too bad. Oh.
It's a bit confusing getting here, but...
Yeah, but you made it, that's the key. Save the day. Got the brackets, pull the roof rack on, throw this at it, job done. Okay, cool, so I need to put... Courier got the lights here, so I'm now actually gotten the roof rack off the car, flipped it over, and I'm gonna start bolting all the, we call them Baja lights along the front here, but the little 4-inch lights. All the brackets are on, ready to go. So now how we're gonna set it up, there's 9 lights total. We're gonna put floods on the outside because that'll give us a bit of spread, spots in the middle for long distance. And one last little thing that's pretty cool. They've got a little tab here, which will allow you to run your harness along there and keep it nice and neat, which is pretty cool. So let's get them on, line them up, on to the next job. Freedom! Jacko and I have been given the privilege of testing out these prototype folding awning brackets from Roadrunner Off-Road. There's only a couple that have been made. So Cam and the boys have gave them to us, said, run them, tell us what the feedback. Cool thing is, they actually have a lockout pin. So when you fold it over, there's a lockout pin here, which you just flick around and twist, and it will stop your awning folding back out, which is fantastic.
Because without it, you'll find when you're out on the tracks, if you hit a big bump,
and the awning folds
it'll just fall open. Yeah, and it's easy to take off too. There's just 2 10mm bolts on each side, and then you can just lift the whole thing off for, I don't know, for whatever reason you want to maybe do some work on it. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, dude. Just see me.
To be fair,
pretty good.
That went way better than I thought it was gonna. So those lights. Here we are, it is now 1 day before Build Wars 2 hits the tracks, and to be honest, it's been epic. However, let's address the big thing, which is the budget. $5,000 budget for every team. We did sell some parts, so we sold the old lockers out of the car from ARB. We sold the old lights. Jacko went and upgraded the diffs to 150 series diffs. Front diff was $480. The rear diff, you might remember in Series 1, I already bought one, so that's free. New ARB lockers, because they had to fit the diffs, $2,800. We lowered the car, rear springs, nearly $400 there. Steady lights was a big cost, but I definitely think it was worth it, nearly $3,000. Then we've got miscellaneous service items. Obviously, we've had to service the car, so there was gaskets, there was filters, there was oil, there's belts, some hoses, all that stuff that makes this thing keep running. $2,500, and there is some extra Steady lights on the car. However, Steady have not released those lights yet, so I jumped on the website, couldn't find a price, so I just reckon they're free. So that leaves us at negative $632, which, to be fair, that ain't bad at all. However, we called the team up at all 4x4 spares. We said, hey, we need an engine and we don't have any money. And that makes things really difficult. So we went out and raided the warehouse and we went, we'll swap you a 1G RFE for some tools. Because that was about $6,500, not a brand new engine, but we're not counting it because, you know, Build Wars wouldn't be Build Wars if the Kincrome team wasn't in Build Wars. So here we are, the car's ready, it's sitting behind me. I reckon we just got to get out there, hit the tracks. What do you reckon, Jacko?
And I ain't even read it. Tell a dealership the top, I don't need it.